Alright, welcome back to Emberward once again. I am enjoying this a lot lately. Gonna be honest, you may be seeing only Emberward for a little bit. It's kind of got my attention. I really want to beat these levels. I really want to get rid of this bone desert. Just want to beat it, man. So we'll start going into it. We got a new guy here, so let's look. You will only receive block cards with 3 or fewer blocks, and each card will always have a rune slot. Interesting. In your starting set, all of the block cards will have runes attached. You start with the Tome of Endless Relic, but the cost to draw cards is doubled. When you build walls with 3 tiles or smaller, the walls immediately lock in place and you draw a card. Can trigger up to 3 times per round. Interesting. So you place a lot of things. I'm down for it. Let's try it. As far as the fire goes, we're going to stick with the normal one. Able to sense the slightest corruption. All battle stages in the adventure are corrupted stages. At the end of each wave, corrupted tiles shift positions randomly. And if I'm not wrong, hold on. How do I get back? Back. I believe corrupted levels. In corrupted level, corrupted areas will appear on the ground, preventing you from building wall blocks in those areas. Additionally, all enemies in these levels will be corrupted, making them tougher and increase health. On the bright side, successful completion of these levels will grant you better rewards. Okay, yeah, so they do give you better rewards. Just wanted to make sure. Head into the academy. So we get a bunch of small blocks, which you know me, I love my small blocks. Love using the small ones. 2 normals and a lightning, a drone again, with ice, and fire. This is definitely like an elemental run right here. And I kind of want to run it. When electric towers attack enemies, there's a 20% chance to summon additional lightning to strike the target, dealing 3 damage. And each non-critical hit by a tower increases its critical hit chance by 5%. When tower crits, deal 50% of their damage as arcane damage to the highest HP monster. At the start of each round, tower prices change randomly. No, you can see the next card in your deck. That's not really useful. I think we're gonna go with a lightning tower here and get the lightning conductor. Then we only get small blocks. That is very interesting. So we can never have big blocks. Well, the smaller the better, right? So let's go, I think we'll go up here. All right, again, of course, corrupted level. It's gonna be a lot harder to block areas off. But it's going to be a lot easier to make things very specific to how I want them. So, first things first. We want to force them a direction. So what are we going to do that? We're going to force them down this way. And then we're going to try and push them even further down this way, block that off, push them around here, place this here, place this here. So everybody's gonna funnel into here eventually. So let's just do this for now. One of these. And let's get some guys in place. First, let's get this chain ball right here. That'll deal with that side for now. This basic tower. And does this only affect arcane towers? Yes. So let's just place 2 of these guys right here. And we'll put another lightning on top of that when we get the money. Scrap towers are super cheap. But they do run out, I believe. Or maybe these ones don't. Yeah, only has 30 ammo. So a little bit easy to spam. But to think I could get like cheaper, I get like 1 cent. which is crazy that that is possible. Let's place this guy here. Let's get this path getting built out as it should. Now we can really force the paths to very specific spots, which is kind of nice. This is a little unfortunate this is happening like this. But I think that's okay for now. I think if anything, we need to just block this off at all costs. So let's get that done. Alright, let's place our lightning, and send the next wave. The idea of it chaining between enemies is really cool to me. It is weak, but it does chain. Oh, we can get some bigger blocks through these. That's good to know. But obviously those will only be used this round. Decent use of it. Not the best use of it, but does something. Increase that fire rate. Just get some more of them down. Send the next wave and build as we're here. Oopsies. Almost forgot that that needs to be blocked off. Sliding tower is not the best, I'm gonna be honest, but I think we can make it work. If we can get the relic that turns them all into lightning towers as well, then that would be even better. Now let's just keep extending this out, just like this. Okay. Let's then try to send this path up the same direction. So we would want to get it all the way to here and send it up and around. And I don't care about much being moved here. Just do this. Up through here. We could make that better. Can honestly make these ones better off, but we'll keep it at this. Let's get some... First, let's get a lightning there. Let's get some basics placed down. Let's send the next wave. Always going to be a lot of relics because these all have relics defaulted to them. So that's something to keep in mind. We have a lot, and I mean a lot of relics to play with. None of these can be really used to properly extend. So I'm not going to. We will just place some more of these in good spots. And we'll place some more of these in some spots. Some next wave. This is an interesting character. Building very small pieces, but being able to build a lot of them. Makes it really easy to make small corridors. Small windy corridors. But really hard to build in large, you know, a lot at the same time, obviously. Alright, we'll just continue down this. Get him. There we go. Get him, get him, get him. Nice. Okay, this build is, I'm not gonna lie, not very strong. These are some very, very weak towers. I think I picked the wrong starting build. But we should be okay. Let's get a... what's this? Not really needed. Get a greater damage. Okay, we need to get some damage done. 3x3s and 2x2s, it doesn't matter. Generation shoots a massive ice spike that deals guaranteed crit damage to the main target, then scatters to deal 30% damage to enemies behind. Also applies 3 stacks of chill to all hit enemies. Plus 15 absorbs chill from enemies within minimum range. Each absorbed chill reduces fire damage and fires a searing lava crystal. Hits enemies burned for 3 seconds. Create lava on the ground, dealing 30% damage over 3 seconds. So this says damage to enemies behind. I'm assuming it pierces through then. Its range is up to 12 tiles. That is insane. Creates an icy tornado at the target's location. The tornado follows the target enemy, dealing damage to all enemies within its area every 0.25 seconds and applying 1 stack of chill. Interesting. Or just a normal frost tower. Let's try this ice spike. Sounds interesting. Arcane damage no longer guarantees a critical strike. That doesn't matter. When you discard a gain randomly, all your towers' attack speed is increased by 20%, but they ignore your commands and attack random targets. Random targets? Not just the first target. That could be really bad. I think we'll just do this discarding a card to gain coins. Oh, we'll reroll. We'll reroll. The preparation time between each round is halved for every 10 seconds remaining on the cooldown timer. At the start of the battle, you earn 3 coins. You receive an additional 20 gold coins at the start of each level. When your tower critical crits, deal 50% of the damage as arcane damage to the highest. Yeah, that's fine. $30 good. It's just additional damage. You can't turn that down. Can't turn that down. Okay, I think another 2x is good. We can go anywhere from that, I think. Oh, we can't. Never mind, we have to go to the middle here. I was not paying attention. Corner piece is not bad. Okay, they're all going to go the same way. Know that for a fact. I think it was pretty obvious what we're going to do right at the start. And then we're going to get the windiness started. Now when it gets down to the proper windy, I don't know what we're going to do, but it's okay right now. This, and we'll do this and this, start the next wave. But honestly, we might discard a lot just for the sake of better setups. Like this right now. There's no real good way to send them up that way. Other than to do this with this, which makes a 2x2 area, which we will eventually need. Then we get weird things like this that we need to work around. And do something like this, which then cuts into here. It creates some weird stuff. But we can make it work. There's a big open spot here now. I think we will send the next wave. Put a single guy out here, single guy out here. Some single guys out here. This is what's nice about small blocks though. We can make these little like platforms almost. This has a massive range. Honestly, putting it anywhere is good. Well, let's reset that real quick. It wants to go on ice. So let's allow it to do that. It can't hit close, it can only hit far away. It's also good to note. Okay. So this might not be the best spot for it, but we will run it for now. Definitely aren't going to keep it there. Alright, let's keep building this guy out. Got a nice system running here. Put another one out here, which captures the entire front. And honestly, we're going to set up a few of these to do that. We'll get a greater attack here, and we'll get another greater attack here. Creates a really good bubble for one. Send the next wave. Bunch of common towers for now. Get that guy in there. Covers the whole front. Bunch of buffs on him. He is ice, I gotta remember. Okay. Well, let's layer the scene. Might as well put the lightnings where they belong. And that's stage clear. Now, I don't know what's really doing our damage, or if anything is really doing damage. But we will see. Mega Rune's not a bad idea. We can use it as a blocker, if anything. Band Tower is very interesting. So is everything else here. Press a beam forward that continuously damages the nearest enemy and applies chill. Fire sharp particles. The lower an enemy health, the more damage it inflicts. It's only up to 404 damage though. I'm interested in the frost ray or the fan. I want to do the fan. When a normal tower is placed next to a tower with other elements, it changes to that element. I like that idea. Also like that idea. Chill, it hits with electric damage, it consumes a chill. Let's do Chameleon. We can make a bunch of electric damaging. Or other types. Okay. Either one of these can get us wherever we want. No, never mind. If I want the workshop, I have to go left or right. But if I want the altar... I don't know if there's any enhancements that are crazy useful for us right now, but I want this mini shop as well, so we're going to go this way. Okay, so this is when our whole strat gets difficult. Because we are sort of forced to deal with them quickly. We can make this guy at least go around this edge. Same with this guy. But this one will always be on his own. And the only way to get him to that edge is to make him go through here. So like ideally, we want this one to have no other choice kind of sucks. This is a big platform, but we're gonna try doing this, and this, then this with this, which forces them to go this way, so that's good. Then we want to block off this way to force them all the way around. And now we got this one to deal with. Which we can do. That. Into that. And we'll place towers on here for now. I say we place a lightning in the middle here with two of these guys next to it. They will now do lightning damage, or electric damage. Sunlight wave. This should be enough for now. Of course, these two weren't going to attack anyway, so I don't know why I focused so hard on them, but that's okay. Okay, these big placements are not bad. Let's get this one. We want to force this guy to go this way very much as quickly as we can. But the more jibble jabble he does, the better. So if we can, we might as well. Do this. I'm not against that. Now, the hard part is like we have to then push them up through here and make them wind about as much as possible. It's really our only choice because it's like the only point where we do damage to all of them. Yeah. Not automatically turn into one. This can be placed here. This here. Send the next wave. We can definitely start getting oopsies, this stuff all figured out. Just gotta find the right place for it. Please do enough damage. Thank you. Okay. So, as always, these need to wind about as much as possible. So if we can bring them down into here and then back, that's good. We're going to attempt to do that. Doing this. with this. And we don't have the pieces, I don't think, to do this yet. No, we don't have the pieces for that yet. We need more small pieces. But that's okay. We want to push it down so that they have to go here. Then when they get to here... Oopsies. They would get pushed down. Then we want them to go down again. Okay. And then they would come up through here. And we'd want to keep pushing them this way. Okay. And we'll leave it there for now. And we want to keep in mind fan placements as well. That's also very important. We can definitely get one in here. Not gonna be crazy good, but we can definitely get one there. I think removing this for now is good. We can get a better setup for that. Let's place down some stuff. This hits a little bit, not a crazy amount though. Let's honestly use these pieces to set that kind of stuff up. So let's place this. There's the little piece I was looking for, which cuts this off at least. And allows us to get this in. And let's send the next wave. We got some fast creatures. Okay, okay. Very interesting, the fast creatures. Don't think I've seen them yet, or I'm just not remembering. Just very possible. That ice does so much damage. So satisfying. Okay, we didn't get a small. That's fine. Let's send down this way. There's a small I was looking for. Another energy. Which we can put here. Not the best spot for it though. These are really annoying. Oh, this one pretty much never... Well, actually, this could be useful in like a spot like this. To house one of these. Because that's going to go up the snake through there anyway. This should be blocked off. We can block it off again with one of these. And then one of these. This then needs a little piece, and once there's a little piece there, we'll want one of these here. Now, I almost want to set up, I almost want to leave this like it is. And instead set up a fan for this spot. A few fans, like down here. So for now it's going to stay. And we are going to get... Oh, not what I wanted to grab, but not a horrible grab. I can definitely get some fans set up here. Just need to place this one and get a little guy. Then place the fan here. And we want it pulling towards, so we'll change that after. Then we'll also get a fan over here, but this is kind of bad because it doesn't take these elements. So maybe we won't, but we'll see. reverse. And I am going to place this here even though it's not ideal. We will give this upgrade. Nicely done, nicely done. Place this guy here. Place this one here. With fire's not going to help it. I don't think. No. Arcane won't really either, but we'll place this here like that. We will place another fan, which you can see it isn't covering it properly. But if we place that there and then start placing long bits in here, it should cover. So let's reverse that direction. Not too bad. Might even be able to place one right here now because that lava is going to mess it up. We can always see that lava might move. For now, though, it's really all we can do. And monsters are going to hit that a lot because they're right next to it. They're being forced to move very slowly through that part. I think we are going to have to start focusing heavily on damage, however. Let's see if this blocks the wind of the other. Can't necessarily tell. We'll place another one here. Can't tell if it's being blocked, and I don't think there's any indicator to tell me if it is being blocked or not. So, I'm gonna hope that it isn't. Put another one there. Little guy here. Let's get this one placed here. That should convert to an ice, yes. This one will also convert to an ice. All of these in this line will be converted to ice towers. Okay. This is normal. Normal. You can connect these up, make them electric. Okay. Put another one here. There, there, and there. Not bad, not bad. Okay. We can cap this off and put one of these here, but we'll wait. For ice, we want to get this in a spot where it'll be useful, so let's put it here with a little guy range here. We'll eventually put one of these here. Let's continue making places for those, because I think at the end of the day they are really good for what we're looking for. These can be discarded now. There's straight up just no use for them anymore. Maybe right there, I guess, but and then we'll place these where we can. Not there, so we'll just leave it. A lot of normal towers converted to different elements. We're running off the chameleon right now. An essential spot of a bunch of fans. Normal damage isn't bad. Because you gotta think they come with a high damage to begin with, because they're normal towers. Not high damage, but decently high. And then they get converted anyway. So, they're just better. We'll put this here. And no way we can make that go up any further. It's just a jumbled mess up here. With a couple of these guys put down, it'll clear up. not ready for the next wave yet. Put that up there. This guy doesn't have anywhere useful to go. I said we can put it up here technically. Then it gets hit by that. So almost just doesn't matter. Might even be able to build a fan in here somewhere, honestly. If only this little guy wasn't here. What are these upgrades? Critical hit and fire damage. Absorbs chills from enemies within minimum range. Each absorbed chill. So enemies that are close to it. Interesting. I think that's what that means. We'll find out. Let's see if we can get a little 4x up set up right here. It'd be right here, so let's get boom. Greater attack, I guess. The fan there. That is not much. That's not even worth it. This is good though. This isn't bad. We would need a little range there. We'll keep it on like it is. Increases damage and apply chill. Not bad. Let's send the next wave. I don't want to sit around for too long. Fans are doing work right now. They're stopping them a lot. And that is a stage cleared. We'll be moving on to the next stage. We get a little guy, which is nice. 2x. We'll give him something that can help both sides. Gold isn't bad. So now we're getting a little bit different on our placements. The scrap tank tower. A tank made of recycled parts. You can replace 1x1 towers into the crusher on top, and the tank will be enhanced based on the cost and element of the disassembled towers. You can dismantle towers for a total value of up to 300 gold. We can literally just put scrap towers in here. How much damage does scrap tank? How much? Or we can put these in there. They're not up to 300. 2 damage. 2 damage still. These do the same thing. And the scrap towers shoot even faster. We just dump a bunch of scrap towers into them. I want to try it. When you play the leftmost card in your hand, all the towers cost 3 gold less to build. Restores after building any tower. If a block tower triggers this effect, the block is placed will be locked immediately. When your scrap tower is destroyed, restore 5 animal to all the scrap towers adjacent to it. The upgrade limit of your scrap tank tower is increased to by 100. Wow. Okay. Let's do it. Drone towers are tempting. Okay, we're not even using our electrical anymore. Your scrap towers have 50% more ammo. The upgrade limit of your scrap tank is increased again. Let's do it. We might be able to get a scrap tank build. Frost. Not a bad idea. Fires a freezing beam towards each constant damage. Let's take this and then let's move out. We might be able to get a pretty crazy scrap tank build going. Up to, it's not even 300, it's up to, what, 455? 6, I think? 600 now? Doubled? Okay. Do we want mini shops or do we want an altar? We don't have much to spend. Kind of just spent it all, so let's do a mini shop. And into a workshop, I guess. Honestly, turning some of these corners into 2x would be really nice. Alright, let's see. First things first, getting to know how we can get everyone going the same direction. Okay. These guys can be made to go this way. Okay, he's going all the way around. Now they're all going to the exact same spot. Except for this guy now. Whoa, he found a way all the way around, huh? Let's block this for now. Okay, and then let's extend... Ooh, that's interesting. Let's just put this here then for now. Let's get some of these placed down. And let's send the wave. We'll hope that they can deal with it for now. But then we'll play with the actual build out here, I think. Okay. So let's cut that off. Now we can have fun with the build. First thing we want to do, send these guys this way, which we won't be able to do because of these shenanigans. So why not send these guys up here? Boom. Boom. There you go. These guys found a way around. Of course they did. Thankfully it can be blocked off. Probably a better way of doing this of like actually nudging these guys in, but they go around, so. I think I can fully encapsulate it like this, I guess, which might be better. Let's do this. Let's make them go that way. And we'll do, of course, just a few of these guys to get some damage done. We will let this run. I think this will be plenty to do with everything. I should have picked that up. I meant to pick that up. Oh well. Definitely meant to pick it up, but it is what it is. Deal with it. Okay, let's start getting this pushed up now. Kind of want to keep them down a little bit. Let's do this. This. And this. Then push it up. And up. And eventually up. Draw here. Extend this out. And then we'll place some good towers. So, good towers, you say. This is a good placement. That'll always be a good placement. This isn't a bad placement, but it's not the placement. This scrap tower, very large. Does damage like that, which is interesting. So we want to make sure that he's optimal. Wherever he is, this probably wouldn't be bad. If this is where I'm going to play with it, probably wouldn't be. For now, I mean, let's get another draw out, I guess. Not what I was looking for necessarily, but I'll take it. No real good spot we can make a 4x right now. Or a 2x2, not a 4x2. Let me click that one. We'll fix this after by extending this up. But that's going to be good for now. This guy's kind of useless this wave then. I don't think that's a bad thing. So the next wave. I do think they're going to be a little underpowered. We might leak a life or two. Or more. We'll see. Okay, those only count as one, thankfully. Okay, we can afford to leak both of these, and I'm happy. Okay, we can make this work pretty much. Okay. You know, big guy. There he is. Because the first things we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to cut this off like that. And then we'll just do this. This. You're really gonna keep trying to go that way? Okay, let's do that. Now this setup is how it needs to be. So let's not mess with this anymore. They're doing what they need to do here. What we can do instead is push things out. We want to make this as ideal as possible, with fans and the whole lot. Let's slow everything down right here. We want to extend this line a little bit more though, so let's not do it yet. I think we want our tank to go here. Right? Because this covers pretty much where we're going to be building. So let's do tank here. Okay. Upgrade the target systems, remove the minimum attack distance restriction. That's really good. Upgrade the dismantling system. Dismantling limit is increased by 300 gold. That is a lot, but I like the minimum being decreased. Now it's even better. Okay. We already have a 600 enhance limit, so kind of already chilling. Put him in there. Damage +2. Put him in there. Damage +2. And we can make this do insane damage. Matter of fact, we're going to spend all of our gold this round just upgrading him. These guys do 2 damage. This guy, 31 damage. In an insane range. Now all we need to do is make a confusing loop here. We can make his damage insane. Just gotta survive. That's the hard part. Because let me tell you what, this is a lot of enemies. This is looking like a lot of lives lost. This is looking like a loss. How did they get around? No. I'm not gonna lie, that caught me completely off guard. I got too focused on the scrap tank and making it work. I wasn't paying attention to everything else that was going on. And God, was it difficult with the small blocks. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of fun because you can make little windy paths. But I can do that anyway. I don't need small blocks for that. So I think next time we go back to the normal. Kind of sucks that we lose that because I was very cocky, I'm not gonna lie. Go back to normal. We go change our character to something that isn't small blocks. We'll figure out which one we want to do. I really want to make a scrap tank build work, but we'll have to figure that out at some point because it does involve you investing a lot into it. Which might be why the money guy's good. And having a scrap as like starter would be essential. Scrap tower. It's cheap and might even get for like 1 gold on a good roll. But we will try that next episode. Unfortunately, we lose this one. I was way too cocky, wasn't paying attention. But hopefully next episode we can make it work. We will see. This bone desert will be dominated. I will not let it survive. But until then, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time.